no, we don't have a full complement of members because the Republican members have not all been named, so we've not yet been constituted. It's hard to argue. I just want to, if I could, since a lot of this was addressed to me, Mr. Chairman, I'd just like to clarify a few things. It's hard to argue that the committee doesn't have jurisdiction, but this should nevertheless go before the committee. But we can talk, and I want to clear a few things up, but then I want to talk just for a second about really the heart of the matter. Article 1, Section 5 of the Constitution vests the House with independent authority, independent of the House Ethics Committee, to discipline any of its members for disorderly behavior, for which the appropriate sanction may include the limitation of any right, power, privilege, or immunity of that member. There is no doubt, based on the language of the Constitution, that the House is well within its right to impose this sanction. But I want to just be clear. We wouldn't be here in this position today, and that's where I started. I'm sorry that we're here. I'm sorry, Ranking Member Wolarski, that this is the first occasion that we've had to be together in a formal way like this. But we wouldn't be here if Representative Greene had not been seemingly, and it is all, and I appreciate your and the ranking member's words about how awful these statements are and these actions are. But we wouldn't be here if Republican leadership hadn't rewarded Representative Greene with seats on the Budget Committee, the Education and Labor Committee, despite her behavior, despite her actions. We wouldn't be here if Leader McCarthy had been responsive to what I am quite confident in describing as the nation's collective outrage at Representative Greene's behavior. I wonder if I can, Mr. Chairman, just submit for the record a letter from Sandy Hook Promise from Mark Barden and Nicole Hockley. Mark Barden is Daniel's father. Daniel was killed at Sandy Hook. Nicole Hockley, Dylan's mom, and they say in their letter, we have dedicated our lives since the murder of our sons to stopping school shootings and preventing more families from feeling the devastating loss we must endure every day. Representative Greene has fueled conspiracy theories and supporters that claim that the Sandy Hook shooting and other violent murders of children never happened. These vicious lies deny the deaths of our murdered children and bring death threats and constant harassment to our doors and our surviving children. Mr. Chairman, this is not, we can't hide behind process arguments which on the merits aren't accurate anyway. This is about language and action that attacks the memory of those who have been killed by gun violence. It is anti-Semitic, it is racist, it is Islamophobic. And to say that we should just simply spend time thinking about whether everything that we know that's been said is offensive enough to warrant action it's not a creditable approach to this whole issue. Let me just say one last thing on this, because you talked about the Ethics Committee, the role of the Ethics Committee, Mr. Chairman, and I take this as seriously as any member of the House, and I know that Ranking Member Wolarski does as well. The role of the Ethics Committee is to uphold the integrity of the House. When this new member, after this whole litany of words and actions and threats, was rewarded with membership on these two committees, that has done damage to the integrity of the House. The Constitution gives us the right to take this action. It is appropriate for us to take this action, and sadly, it is necessary for us to take this action because no other action to respond to this has been taken by the leadership.